Hello, and we're back coming at you 3 wide here from the Butler Esports Park. Shout out to Austin, BPG for that one. So we got IU and Purdue Northwest, 2 powerhouses. Go ahead and give me a little rundown on this game.
Well, like you said, it's been the 2 powerhouses so far. Purdue Northwest and IU have been putting out just an incredible performance overall. IU especially bringing out that really scary Cassante gameplay that is still burned into my memory. I'm expecting fireworks. I'm expecting action. I'm expecting interesting drafts. I'm just expecting really good gameplay overall.
Yeah, I expected this to be probably one of the most competitive games of the night. We're going to see a back and forth. I don't think there's going to be an early lead that just snowballs out of control like we've seen quite a few times tonight.
Yeah, and the only sad thing about it is only BO1. Man, if we got a BO3 of this series, that would be awesome.
That would.
But a BO1 means it's anyone's game. You know, I think a lot of it will come down to drafts, and as you already brought up, Cassante. I'm not quite sure who's red or blue side yet, but do we expect to see that ban for red side?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. Yeah. We saw Ball State go up against Cassante in the IU, and then in Ball State's next game, Cassante was immediately banned out. Yep. It's the champ has been buffed, and as we were finding out here, it's quite strong in the live patch.
Yeah.
It did not get nerfed enough in the hotfix. That is for sure.
That is for sure. We have Indiana on blue side, so they would be able to first pick it too. And High Prince showed a lot of proficiency on that champion. But what other champs do you guys think are going to be big power picks for this?
I mean, we've been seeing pretty consistent stuff throughout the tournament. People are going for that Zaya, that Orianna, that Syndra. I see no reason as to why those won't just keep being selected here. We have been seeing the Vi jungle, which personally, I know you said keep your eyes on Vi when I came in here. I personally, I wasn't really expecting a lot of Vi. I was thinking more of the Jarvan, Sejuani Maokai side of things, but Vi has also just been kind of a terror on the Rift every time she's been selected here.
Yeah, I think they might let Jarvan through finally, honestly. Vi has just been doing too well so far. So I'd imagine maybe they'll take it off the board. Maybe they won't, though. Maybe we're just going to see a Vi again, and it's going to dominate once again.
Yeah, it seems to be Amindad's best champ, what he's most comfortable on. I want to see the Senna again, though, for our Purdue Northwest. I think that champ's incredibly strong. And then I want to see IU answer it with a Draven. I want to see Draven come out.
I want to see the Draven.
I think I've seen these players play Draven, whether it was in solo queue or previous years. I want to see Draven because I think he's super strong. And if you can get that early lead in a best of 1, that's all you need. You just need to win 1 game, right? So I would love to see something like that pulled out today.
Yeah, Draven would be. We have seen Draven banned a few times. Yep. I do know that Blaster3, one of his, one of a AC that he's known for, has been banned out of that Draven at least once in this tournament so far.
Yep. Last game, actually.
Last game. Okay, there we go. And I also really want to see Senna. I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't seen more Senna, honestly. Yep. Whenever I play solo queue, she's kind of been my go-to ban for a while. I think that champ is incredibly strong, incredibly versatile, and just has so many tools to just really wreck the opposing team.
And if we do see the Senna, do you think we're going to see the Alistar like we've seen in previous games, or do you think there's another support that would be a better pick for that?
Man, Cho'Gath. I want to see Senna Cho'Gath.
You want to see Cho'Gath?
We saw the power of Cho'Gath mid, just with the permanent sustain, unable to be killed. You have objective control, but I think Senna Cho'Gath is really, really strong. During the qualifiers, we saw Ball State pull out Senna Set. So as we get into this draft, I'm definitely excited to see what we get.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see a Senna Cho'Gath either. I know Senna Tom Kench, that might have fallen a bit out of favor recently. And yeah, it is kind of boring, but Tom Kench has been buffed. It's certainly on the table, especially if we are just talking about Senna picks here. So it's just a lot of these really tanky, these sustain, knock-up displacement champions that just work really well with her.
Yeah, Senna is a definite pick that I would like to see here. And it's very, you say Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I see any of these players picking that. It is. Yeah. We've seen it mid lane so far. It didn't work out the best, but a support pick would be.
Well, I remember in Ball States in the spring in their finals for their conference, the other team picked Senna Cho'Gath 2 games in a row and won them both. So I'd love to see Ball State, for example, take that, but I know they're not in this game. Later down the line, but I think it's a very strong champ. I'd also like to see Seraphine It is a counter to Orianna, and the champ is very strong after these changes, and nobody's picked it yet. It could also be paired very well with the Senna. I would love to see that. I think she is very strong.
Just looking through the match jerseys, I think it was IU. It might have been PNW I was looking at. One of these players does like main Seraphine.
Yep.
Like that is their first or second most played champion. We are in champ select right now.
And
though.
that's an immediate Ziggs ban.
Yep, they do not want to have to deal with that flex pick. And Orianna ban as well. That was what Combo King looked better. He did not look too great on the Syndra, and he looked really good on the Ori in that game. So that makes sense too. In the Rumble ban, that champ's been strong too.
Yeah, Rumble has been making quite a name for himself on the Rift, and there it is, the Cassante ban. Nobody wants to deal with it. You get one kill, and it's terrifying, and we won't be seeing any Senna shenanigans today as the Ezreal ban.
The
also
Senna
gets through.
Cho'Gath dream is dead.
Yeah, Seraphine could still come out though.
We could still see the
Good flex
Seraphine.
pick too. Good B1.
I am very happy to see the Cassante off the board. I do not want to see.
Oh, they're listening. Oh, it got locked in.
They're listening.
Let's go.
Someone's got their headphones off back there. They can hear us.
Yep, I think that's a great champ, and it is. Nobody knows where that's going. It's not going. Could go mid, could go AD carry, could go support. So great pick there.
We're going to see top lane Seraphine.
Oh, High Prince is that confident, and we see the Jarvan come out too. This is another strong power pick as well.
I do like the Jarvan. I do think the Ashe is a solid first pick here as well, especially since you are just going to be taking it away from the Seraphine. Ashe Seraphine, kind of scary for me to deal with, at least from what I've seen so far. We do have quite a few solid picks open. Would be interested in seeing a Syndra here, but Combo King has been struggling on that Syndra, and so we are going to be hovering this Poppy and in fact locking it in. So that is going to be kind of some anti-dash maneuvers for that Jarvan so far.
I expect to see the Syndra right here. I'd be very shocked if that is not the lock-in, unless they're planning on playing Seraphine mid.
Yeah, I think your best bet. I mean, it's hard because if you pick support, mid, or AD carry, any of those, you kind of lower the chance of Seraphine going to any of those other roles, but you don't really want to blind. Ooh, I like that because that could go top still.
Yeah.
You have really no idea where two of these champs are going. This is a very good way to play blue side with these flex picks. And Poppy could still
Honestly,
get
yeah,
top.
Poppy is a very, very flexible champion here. So, in theory, blue side here is just sitting on so much flexibility and utility. That is going to be the LeBlanc pick coming locked in here. Not entirely sure how I feel about that. I really don't feel like her buffs, even this patch, have put her in what I would call a very workable state for mid lane. I certainly think it's better than the absolute gutting she got last patch, but it just feels like a middling pick at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I was a big fan of the AD LeBlanc. I was spamming that in solo queue.
Oh, you're one of those
You're
people.
a little gross for that.
I went 14-0, won 14 straight games on it, and then they nerfed it the next patch.
Yeah, I believe you.
A little sad for me, but I agree. I don't think it's super strong. And, it's really hard for Purdue Northwest here to ban. Like, you don't really know where anything's going, so they're just going to ban two really strong champs, say, we don't know where anything's going, but we're going to ban these power picks.
That's always a solid option. I do like the Xayah ban, just keeping that entirely off the table. Aatrox, also a fairly strong top laner this patch. Braum ban is going to be coming out here, and now we're facing our second ban. You have the support on the table, you have the top lane on the table, and you are going to be removing that Kennen from the equation.
Interesting. We haven't seen any Kennen picks or bans in this tournament so far, so
Part of me wonders if it's a comfort pick.
it must be a comfort pick on the side of IU.
Ooh, the Renekton. So do we keep Poppy top, or do we keep it in the jungle?
I still think that Poppy can go anywhere at this point. That's going to be able to sort of cut down a bit on the Renekton's mobility, and I really think it's going to come down into what's going to be locked in here in the ensuing bits of draft. So we are hovering that Jax, and we are selecting that Jax.
And we're going to see Poppy in the jungle and Jax top. I'm going to stick with what I've been saying the last few games. The team that picks Renekton loses, in my opinion. I do not like that champion. I do not think he's good. And these are two pretty evenly matched teams. So I like the Jax over the Renekton right here.
So I wonder if with the Braum ban, Purdue Northwest kind of just assumed Seraphine was going to go bot lane because Braum is very good support matchup into Seraphine. So they want to just ban that out and give their support counter pick, but they needed to make sure it was Seraphine support before they, pick support. So we'll see what they pick here. I think, okay, they're just going to go Rel.
All right,
Interesting.
going for that CC here. I do think both these teams have a fairly strong draft. I think I'm leaning towards Purdue Northwest's draft just a little bit more, mostly because I don't feel that LeBlanc is a very solid pick at all, and I'm inclined to agree. I think I'm not sure I'd call Renekton a bad champion per se, but I do. Okay,
He's a bad champion.
I do think, especially into this Jax, I just don't know if that's what the draft decision that you really want to be making here as IU.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you. You are sandwiched between two Renekton haters right now.
Yep. Not a fan. I will say, though, while I think Purdue Northwest comp makes more sense as a full comp, I feel like IU just has answer after answer in every single role. I mean, they have a strong top lane matchup. The mid matchup's pretty good. You have the way stronger jungle, well, in the matchup, isolation. So I think it's going to come a lot down to who can get their leads in these winning lanes and then transition that into a winning team fight.
Absolutely. So once again, it really seems to be the case between the Titans of the Battle for Indiana here. It really is just going to come down to those last-second decisions, those tiny mistakes. Can you exploit them enough? And both these teams have shown that they're just able to make so much happen off of even just one kill here.
Yeah, this is going to be a close game. One mistake could snowball out of control in this game because these teams are very evenly drafted. I know you said you think IU's comp's a little better, but it is just a little better.
Yeah.
It's really a small margin for error right here.
And I will say, as the resident Seraphine lover and the one who's proponent of this pick, if you don't go Rowley's support first item, I'm going to be very upset. Like,
that is
gross. The whole point of it is that your E comes out faster, your base shield is bigger, you don't really need the shields, just go Rowley's first item. You're going against, 3 melee champions and a LeBlanc, having those extra slows, extra roots. You want to go Rowley's. If you want to, don't buy a tier, you don't need tier. Just go Rowley's. If you won't go Rowley's, I'm going to be upset. I promise you, I'll be angry. I'll be angry.
So, in the past 5 to 6 minutes, you've talked about how much you enjoy AD LeBlanc and Riley's Rush Seraphine. Do you just really don't like other people having fun?
Yeah, exactly.
You do not want them to enjoy their time on the competitive stage.
I don't want to just take their LP. I want to take their sanity, as we're playing the game.
Mental warfare is a form of warfare. And
Next, I'll be talking about
effective.
Singed. Let's get Singed in this game.
No.
Proxy in every way.
Just constant proxy Singed. I do think the Riley's, as evil, as deliciously evil as it is a good move. And I have really just not been a fan of the amount of people who have just been picking up tier in this game. I really feel that, yes, it's a laning item and it can be quite helpful, but I feel like so many times the situation really just doesn't call for it. I think it's being taken way more often than is warranted. So I also hope I don't see that because I might get a little upset. I don't think tier is very good.
Yeah, we will all be getting angry at Miss Seraphine over here. If we see a tier and not a Rowley's first.
If we see tier into
not
Helia
Rowley's.
of Echoes, is that what it's called?
Echoes of Helia.
Yeah.
We'll be fuming up here. We'll be fuming.
Echoes of Helia, especially, I know that due to some enchanter changes, has been getting picked up more and more. And I do personally think it's really fun. I have run it on a few enchanters. Milio
It's a second item for sure. Just don't go first.
Yeah, Milio especially, it does feel nice on, but I agree. It's a second item. Very often, you might not even want to take it at all, right? There's Battle Song that could do something here, or Moonstone. I feel like out of all the enchanter mythics you're picking, it's definitely not sort of the one-size-fits-all. And like you said, second item, for sure.
Please.
Second item. And here we are. We're loading into the game. It will be momentarily when we transition over. I am excited for IU here. They are just a ragtag group of people who like League that got together. Yeah. And they're making it to the winners finals.
Yeah, like I've said, they're going up against storied programs, with coaches and resources, and I use a relatively new program. It's very student-led still, kind of more on like a club level groups, just like you said, getting people together and playing league. So it's hard to root against that. So I'm hoping for that, and I'm also hoping for Rowley's. We're gonna keep bringing it up until they do it. I'm gonna bring it up, and if it's not done, I'm gonna be angry.
I've got a little spoiler. Oh, you can see now there is no tier.
I mean, he's got to get the support item. It's on the first back.
Yeah.
We're going to see the tier first back. Let's hope not.
We have 3 minutes until we can get very angry.
Exactly. We are going to be seeing kind of a standard start here. Everyone just guarding the entrances to jungle.
We haven't been seeing many invades over the course of the day.
Seen, I believe the only game I've casted, actually, I've only casted one game with an invade so far. So both these teams kind of, granted, there have been a lot of scaling things. You maybe don't want to invade with a super scaly team, even if you do pick something a bit more scrappier like this Jarvan, like this Akali. Often it's just safer to wait for lane and hit level 2 there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think if anyone's going to invade, it's going to be a late invade. It's not going to be something at the start. It's going to be very, very late.
Exactly. And here we go. The lanes have met. Combo King and Klexo already just trading hard. You do have these really strong characters, LeBlanc and Akali. They are not afraid to kind of just walk up and start wailing on each other here. And overall, I'm really expecting to see a lot coming out of this bot lane in particular. I think Seraphine is this really strong pick that has the potential to abuse things heavily. I'm already seeing those trades come out in force.
And here we go, having a quick 1v1 up top, decide to back out, just a small tip-tap, and they're going back in. Does this play out further? I don't think it does.
Nah, just nice, easy trading. And you know, I've talked a lot about items and people's builds and what should be going because that's how I view the game as a player. And we got to take a look at the 80 LeBlanc coming out.
I was going to comment on that. But yeah, that's a longsword start for your LeBlanc.
Oh, and it's also a fleet footwork.
Yeah,
LeBlanc.
and you know, after the changes, I just don't think it's near as good as it was. I hope he goes, if he's going to go static, he needs to go towards AP second, like Luden second or Leandrew second, something along those lines. Because this team is lacking AP damage, and if Poppy Jax can itemize pure armor, they're going to be hard to kill.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting choice. AD LeBlanc kind of struggling so far. Once again, looking at the game kind of outside of this item perspective, again, just going these really back and forth, just trades, just jungles, just counter jungling. It really has been super slow so far, both these teams, and this feels like a huge theme of tonight, just waiting for that opportunity. They're just playing so patiently. You even have that Rel just kind of peeking out, letting them know you're there. Ultimately, the short trade back and forth.
Oh, Renekton.
He's going to get a solo.
Is he going to get a solo?
Jax walked up. I think he got minion blocked. That's a first blood there for the top laner, Purdue Northwest.
Absolutely brutal minion block. Andy has a decent CS lead already. This might be the top lane takeover for Brink over here.
Yeah, and both these teams no stranger to a top lane takeover. That is a great news for Pranked here and for Purdue Northwest. In the meantime, we have a lane gank coming out here from Amended. I don't know if Purdue Northwest know that they're there, and Amended is now going to force that flash out of Teffoner, and is ultimately just going to reset. That's a pretty successful lane gank. You get a flash for basically nothing.
Yeah, and you're just going to get double scuttled for it at the end of the day, which is not, you know, the end of the game. And you're going to take that flash, and as long as you can punish that flash later down the line, it's going to be definitely worth it. I would like to see them, though, find a way to stabilize this Jax a little bit. I want to see Poppy now on this reset, find a way topside, get that top scuttle, and play to give this Jax some sort of advantage. But we are going to see more trading down here in the bot lane. Rel does not have flash, and she is very deep. It's going to be a kill to the side of IU, and it goes to Hiccup.
All right, that Seraphine picking up a really early
It's a lot of money for here.
No, no.
Yes. I do agree with stabilizing that Jax up there, but this is still a really spectacular moment here. And Combo King looking to keep the train rolling, but the chain does land, and Klexo just simply disengages. Doubtful commits the flash, actually.
Wow, great escape.
Yeah, but Doubtful kind of misplayed that. He tried to EQ flash, but he was just a little late on the flash, so it didn't make the EQ go any further. Little misplay there from the side of Purdue Northwest. It could have been another kill over to the side of them, but you're just going to go flash for flash at the end of the day, which is not the worst.
And look at Seraphine's items.
No!
It is not a tier, but it is not a Rylai's.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just buying the Vandal Glass Mirror so he can have the mana regen for it, but we are seeing more fighting here in this blue side jungle. IU is going to have all 4 players here collapsing onto the Poner. He's going to be the first to fall. Does anyone else fall? No, I think it's going to be just that. Klexo's maybe going to go back over this wall. He does go over the wall, but there's no play here. Oh, Jarvan's going.
Whoa!
huge.
Doubtful jumping in, but is immediately going to get collapsed on Hiccup. Will just happily pick up another kill here. And I don't know if there was a miscommunication, maybe just a bit of a hopeful kill there, but that really just did not seem necessary at all.
A bit of running it down mid right there. Questionable decisions, but they are. Yeah, just a mistake.
I think, this. Oh, and we are seeing the perfect execution committed here from Combo King. Doesn't have enough damage to kill him. He does miss the 5-point strike, but the auto does get the final kill, but it's a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. And what my point was, I think there's a little bit of nerves. This is land environment, doubtful. He missed the EQ flash. He's a little nervous there. He's trying to do a little bit too much there. It cost him his life. And then it also, in the interim, cost his LeBlanc a solo death as well.
Yeah, it really is just part of the mental game. It's so important in League, and especially in such a stressful, like you said, LAN environment. This is incredibly competitive, and it's a best of one. The pressure is really on. And those mistakes have just got to be eating away at Doubtful. It's not an ideal way to start your game as Jarvan. We do have that dragon up. Neither team looks to really be making a play for it at this point. Wave states have been fairly neutral every time the camera's been down to look at them. And once again, after a rather explosive start, just going to kind of be slowing down a bit, going back to these small trades. It feels like he's just waiting for Jungle to make a play happen here at this stage.
And if I was PNW, I would be a little scared of this Akali. Just based on what I'm seeing, Combo King seems to know how to play this character. Seems very good at it, and giving away kills like that, like what Doubtful did, I'd be scared to put gold on this Akali.
Yeah, and they don't have too many. Actually, they have a lot of answers for Akali. So, as long as Combo King he looks like he's proficient. As long as he stays proficient on the champion and can do a lot of damage, he definitely does become a threat. But what I'm looking at is this Seraphine. All this gold is on her, and it's my fault, guys. I made the mistake. I didn't know that Seraphine was the carry, gonna get her second item before anybody else, so it makes sense to go ally second if she's getting all the gold.
We can hope and that the Riley's dream will live on. In the meantime, we are going to be seeing Purdue Northwest there on that Herald off screen. Just going to be taking it. You do have some pretty good top prio. You have a fairly good mid prio as well. In the meantime, we have Indiana looking to play down bot side, but embedded rather.
Oh, the flash!
Oh, wow!
What? Do they have the damage?
They might.
They
That
don't.
Ignite does go off, but Hiccup Shield is going to be really, really important here. That flash committed,
Perfect
but
execution.
unable. There is just so much.
Combo
King.
Too good at the Akali. Like I was saying, they need to be afraid of this man.
That was clean.
That was extremely clean. Combo King. Certainly king of the mid lane at that point, getting a really nice kill. And while Rift Herald may have gone toward PNW, Indiana will be on this dragon. Beautiful play.
Oh, what? Jarvan's gonna fall for it. He doesn't have flash though. No, he's not gonna die. He just gets a free dragon. What just happened?
I'm so sorry, Indiana. I think I just jinxed you.
Oh, and they're trading here on the top side. He does have flash. No, he's gonna be able to just dash away. Okay, Purdue Northwest is fighting back.
Indiana.
Doubtful with such a rough early is just going to come back in a big way and say, hey, that dragon, it's mine now. And I'm still flabbergasted. I was really just completely blindsided by that.
Yeah, nobody here thought that was gonna get stolen, and then not just stolen, he lived and didn't have to blow his flash.
Combo King looking to do it again. Misses the dash.
He does not have perfect execution, so he's just going to chunk him out and hope when his perfect execution does come back up, he's going to be able to kill here if Klexo does not opt to reset.
And these LeBlanc autos are brutal. They may have nerfed it, but gosh, the damage that is coming out from this LeBlanc just autoing right now.
It still does hurt quite a bit, but Combo King is sitting on a pretty comfortable lead in that mid lane, 2 levels up on Klexo, in fact. It's going to be really rough in the mid lane here for Purdue Northwest. Purdue Northwest a bit behind in gold, but it's by no means the end of the world. And overall, it really seems like Indiana is content to keep the small lead going as Combo King is just going to go in and just take down Klexo. Just that simple.
Does he know that they were there? He did it, but he
Does have
can't
3
get
people
out.
here.
Gun comes out, and Combo King going to be forced to commit the flash there. And
You'll take it.
Once again, a
You'll take
clean play from Combo King right there.
And this is what the strength of that counter pick. You know, they had all those. Well, actually, no, they picked LeBlanc into the Akali. Whoa, we are seeing a lot here. The Seraphine does go down. The Renekton is charmed under tower. Jarvan is way too deep. That's a double kill for the Seraphine, so she can get to her rallies early. And Rel might fall as well. She has no flash. The root does miss. But the shuriken slip does land. There's enough damage. Is Quexo going to fall as well? To shut down over to Akali. They are going too deep, and they're. She's good? Alright, she's good. Poppy is okay. That was a lot right there. But Seraphine is getting gold.
I love that you managed to sneak a so she can get her rallies early in the middle of that. Let's see, does she go back and start building towards the rallies?
No, she's going to have her support item
she's
for sure.
She's going to finish that.
She should have the gold for it, yeah.
Now, do we see the rally second?
Now. Now's the time.
We've got the Seraphine carry over here.
If we don't get the rallies, I'm going to go out to the park, land environment, and take his headphones off and yell in his ear to buy it. Not really, but I should.
I think if we all yell loud enough into our mics, he may hear us.
Buy rallies!
Well, that is certainly in just a massive lead for that Seraphine that has been generated already. And overall, Indiana just ahead in gold, edging out to just a bit over 1K there. The Rift Herald is going to be dropped mid, summoned by Doubtful, just going to get some turret flames off, try and slow down Combo King. High Prince, meanwhile, lurking up there with the jungle, trying to force Pranked to take the engage, and Pranked is just going to E out. The Poppy W not quite catching them in time.
Yeah, and as you said, this is a 6 kill deficit, but only about 1,000 gold. So while if you click tab, it might feel really bad to look and see, 9-3, but you're not really that far behind. And a lot of it is some pretty good CS in here from the top and the bot lane, and the shutdown over to LeBlanc. This is definitely a very winnable game still for the side of Purdue Northwest. So we're hoping to see just more good League of Legends and a lot of play here.
Yeah, the Ashe is managing to keep a pretty sizable CS lead right now, and I expect to see this Ashe come online and start making some plays up here pretty soon.
Yeah, that CS lead is important. It's especially impressive given how far ahead Hiccup is, although granted there is not a ton of damage being built on that Seraphine at the moment. We have the Drake coming up in just under 1 minute, and honestly I feel like either team is in a really solid position to take it here. We are seeing Doubtful kind of lurking around here. I don't know if Indiana knows that Doubtful is there. The Ashe arrow does not fly true, and the stun will not go off, and that was really the play that Purdue Northwest was hoping to make there.
I think that Ashe arrow just flew by us in the caster room, guys. Like, that missed everybody.
Oh, but that flash does not, and the Rel is going to be going with the charm. It's going to come out really quickly, and the Cataclysm is coming out from the jar. The shutdown on the Seraphine is 400 extra gold into Winging's pocket, and Toponer is going to go down as well. Meanwhile, up top, Pranked is getting autoed to death by High Prince. With you are Renekton, you have some pretty impressive sustain. Goredrinker going to basically make that trade a net 0, but that is some gold for that Ashe.
Yeah, you get the shutdown on the Seraphine. Huge, and it was only a 1-for-1. You did have to blow your Sum's bot lane, but 1-for-1, and IU's going to get the dragon. So at the end of the day, because of that shutdown, it's probably a pretty even trade.
And I believe that we did not yell loud enough for Seraphine, but there is a fight breaking out. Jax is under tower. He's going to take a shot, but he heals up from the autos. He manages to make it out with the ward hop. Is Pranked going to be able to get back on him here? I do not think so.
Frank doesn't quite know where Doubtful is at the moment, so he's just going to be a bit cautious in walking up there. Yes, my favorite component of Rylai's, that being Fairy Charm.
That's what I was about to say.
There is going to be tears in my eyes if I don't see this item. It is her best item without doubt, but we are seeing more trading between these mid laners that have been fighting all game. Seraphine is here though. Combo King's going to take a tower shot. Doubtful is here, but does not have the Cataclysm. Rel is on the other side. He's perfect execution to kind of get away. He gave the stun on the Seraphine. No, they missed the stun. The Shuriken foot goes back in, but he just perfect execution's out. I mean, good job on IU to get out of there.
I'm going to be honest, if Combo King took that Akali engage right there, I would not have been surprised. They have been making this Akali just look like something inhuman. They're just doing such a really good job so far. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Toponer going to look for an engage there, but Loki Dose would be more than happy to trade back. Loki Dose is going to get stunned, but I don't know what the plan was there. The Toponer just kind of caught out and immediately gunned down.
Toponer thought he could 1v1 a Kai'Sa right there, and he cannot.
Cataclysm is available, and this Jax does not have flash, but Poppy is up here. Purdue Northwest is going to see this tier. Prank doesn't have flash or ult either. This could be as easy 2 for 0 for the side of IU. 1 falls. Is the Renekton going to fall? Yes, he will. High Prince is going to kill Prank.
They are absolutely running away with this gold lead now. Nearly a 3K gold lead. That's the biggest gap we've seen in this game so far, and I imagine they're going to put their foot on the pedal and use all this gold they have to try to snowball this game.
Yeah, we talked about how the Sia, at least Purdue Northwest is keeping up MCS here, but the kills just keep coming. Combo King looking for another one onto Klexo. Klexo is 2 and 4, is just not been able to make this LeBlanc work. The Herald will be taken for the side of IU, but at the cost of just Combo King once again adding more gold to their belt there.
Yeah, and that's just Klexo being a little greedy. He was trying to shove that wave in, and with the the nerfs to recall or to respawn timers, Combo King was able to get there very quickly. Actually, it was just a recall, actually. But yeah, Klexo being greedy, trying to push that wave when he just needed to base, buy his items, and refill his health, because as soon as Combo King got there, he was dead.
Now, I believe Klexo did hear us when we told him what he should build, and we are seeing the static shift into full AP.
Good.
So that is a plus over here from us. So far, players are just setting up, trying to take as much vision control as they possibly can. IU really has control over a majority of the map.
Oh, and the Ash Arrow is going to fly true, and Loki Doki will be stunned. Meanwhile, down the bot lane, Prince is going to go on the Klexo. Klexo just cannot catch a break. It's going to be forced. Actually, that was not a flash, excuse me. It's just going to disengage here, as it looks like that the engagement did not find any members of IU either. And IU just exerting so much pressure over this map, looking for these towers, just waiting for that objective to spawn. That Drake is up in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, the LeBlanc and the Rel picks are just not working out, and the Jarvan hasn't looked super impactful either, as we're seeing just some posturing around this Dragon. We're trying to get the start in this Baron, but Poppy is going to get him stunned up on the wall. The Rel ult does come out, but Tyson on the back line, huge Seraphine Charm, hits them both to bring them back and say, you are not getting away from me.
I think that could be the nail in the coffin of this game. It is still pretty early on, but that was a bad team fight for PNW with the loser right there. We're fighting top lane. Combo King diving Prank under tower, but he has to get out. He can't take any more tower shots. Has to blow his flash to get away from Prank as his team takes the mid lane turret. Will they be able to get the second turret or third turret of the game here? I don't think they can. They do not have the wave.
And they'll probably just reset and play for this next Dragon.
That would be the move here. Combo King does not care for dragons. Combo King hungers only for Prank's blood, but the TP from Klexo is suddenly going to make that very difficult. A much-needed shutdown on the mid laner for the side of Purdue Northwest. In the meantime, they're going to be shoving this top lane forward. The Dragon is up in just over 30 seconds, but Purdue Northwest are more than content to start pressuring these lanes, get these towers, get these objective bounties, start trying to make a comeback. You said it was the nail in the coffin. Well, Pranked has seemed to remove it by taking down this turret.
That's great for Klexo right there. He's going to be able to back, probably close to finishing his second item. He has 2 stacks on that Dark Seal. He is going to become a massive damage threat right after this back.
Yeah, and I don't think Purdue Northwest is going to be able to contest this Dragon, though. I think if they were earlier, as soon as Dragon spawned, they were able to, but with this Herald going down mid tower is going to break. It's going to be very hard to contest this Dragon. But if they go for it, they do have a lot of play. You just have to make sure you're able to kill this Kai'Sa, and you really keep track of Akali.
Yeah, the 2 high damage carries here are posing a very serious threat for Purdue Northwest. Purdue Northwest is going to be going mid, at the very least, is going to be fighting Prince here. That's Klexo, is going to be disengaging. It really just looks like Indiana kind of has free access to this Dragon, though. It's going to be so difficult for Purdue Northwest, and it doesn't even look like they're going to bother, just going to get some vision, maybe get some waves, and just try and play on the opposite side of the map and make something else happen.
And Seraphine appears to have accidentally bought the wrong items.
Again.
That appears to be a Kim?
Chemtech. Chemtech Putrefier.
Putrefier, yeah. I think he's doing to spite me at this point. He's heard me complain, and he heard me say I'll come down there and yell in his ear, but he doesn't care. He's just spiting me at this point.
Okay, going to be picking up another tower there. Currently, the turrets are tied and it is a 3K or so gold lead here for Indiana. But it doesn't really feel like Purdue Northwest is totally lost here. They are making plays. They just are trying to recoup from the effects of perhaps a bit of a rougher early game than they would have liked. We are going to be seeing the team making moves around this Baron, but either team going for a fight here doesn't seem super advisable, although Indiana is a bit stronger, might want to try and force it, but are just going to get vision control, or lose it rather, as Clixo is going to be autoing that ward down, and just back, resets, start farming.
And in the IU versus, the Ash arrow does find the Kaisa. The chain is going to land as well. She doesn't have flash. She's going to get out the backline, but does she does get one at the immediate interment. The TP comes in from the Renekton. Jax tries to get back on. Huge flash there from the Winky. There's no Cataclysm down. Combo King on the backline doesn't find anyone. Doubtful flashes over the wall. Huge to save him, but Rel's going to sacrifice her life to get the rest of Purdue Northwest out of there.
And that's Combo King picking up yet another kill, and that was so close. Purdue Northwest loses that fight, but they could have lost so much more in the process, or at the very least able to minimize casualties, but that is likely going to be most, if not all, of the mid tower going down. We see Doubtful coming here, just trying to salvage it if at all possible, but that's just so much damage being dropped down onto that mid turret.
And I want to give some props to Lokadoshi right there for doing that very, very quick cleanse right after getting stunned, enabling him to take down Winking and make sure that wasn't the worst trade for them.
Yeah, and this is about what I was going to say in that earlier game between IU and Ball State. Indiana, they played a little fast sometimes, and they got into these team fights that were on a nice edge when they maybe shouldn't have been. And right there, that was on a nice edge because a very well-played team fight there by Purdue Northwest. And my point in bringing this up is we're watching some high-level League of Legends. Being down 3K and being able to go for 1 for 2 in that type of fight is pretty impressive. So Indiana has to make sure they play a clean game for the rest of this if they want to win this game.
And that might be a bit of an issue here as Turner is going to get stunned out.
Oh, huge copy R! Winky is by himself, completely isolated, but Klexo and Doubtful are here. The Charmer isn't going to hit anybody. Renekton is going to get stopped by the Poppy. It's a double kill there for Ash. Doubtful flashes him, hits on both of them. Combo King finally shows up in this fight. He does have perfect execution. He goes under the Ash. Ash goes down, shut down the Combo King. Double kill to Combo King.
Combo King has made Akali the new terror of the Rift for this particular game. And putting in so much work here, sitting on a 300 gold shutdown. Indiana certainly in a position to maybe go for a Baron here, but are at the moment pressuring that top wave, looking to take that tower while the rest of them reset. And honestly, if you're Indiana, this is looking really juicy as Frank is going to be taking that fight. But the sustain on Renekton is not to be messed with, and Combo King, really, like you said, they take these nice edge fights. That just didn't feel necessary, and Combo King just taken down.
Yeah, I felt like Indiana just finally solidified their quite a large lead there, and Combo King just diminishing it quite a bit. They did not need that. I thought Indiana was actually going to lose that big team fight there, but then the beautiful ult from Poppy came in, shoved everyone off of the fight, and made it a great fight for Indiana right there.
Yeah, Amended is playing that Poppy beautifully. He denied so much engage there from the Renekton and then the Jarvan, and then he got them both out of there to turn that fight around. But we are seeing the Baron go down here. We do not have a single TP on Akali, so they're probably going to try and fight this. Jax is on the backline. Huge play. He hits 2. Magnus Storm is on the Cataclysm, shoves them both into the wall. Amended is by himself. The Charge is going to hit 3. Prince is not going to die. The Vinci comes out, but he does not get the heal in time. Amended is going to kill another. He's by himself, though. It's a 2v3 now, and it was a 2 for 2.
And Pranked is just going to be terrorizing but all of Indiana there. That was a Renekton that just refused to die. And again, the 2 for 2, both these teams going to be forced to back off here. Can't really contest the Baron, but this Drake is coming up within the next 10 seconds. And Purdue Northwest here, or Indiana rather, are looking in a really good position to start trying to take it.
Yeah, PNW really wants to contest this Drake. They do not want Indiana to be at Soul Point. That would be devastating for them. But I don't think they're going to make it there in time. This is a free drag for Indiana.
Yeah, and you know, this is a lot going back to the draft. The LeBlanc and the Rel just don't seem to fit too well here. They get denied so much by Poppy, and Amended has been the catalyst for this game. For everything IU wants to do, he's been there, he's making plays, he's playing these team fights pixel perfect. He's stunning the right people, he's denying engagements at the right time. and he has been, without a doubt, the best player on this team so far for IU.
Amended has been putting in the work on that top three. We have Combo King with these flashy plays, of course, but Amended has turned team fights around single-handedly multiple times throughout this entire game. We are going to be seeing PNW setting up vision control on the Baron at the very least. Might try and make a play happen here, but the risk is immense, but the reward could be even better as the gold lead is once again grown significantly in Indiana's favor, and it really feels like the onus is on Purdue Northwest to just make something happen. Otherwise, you're just going to lose.
Yeah, and Purdue Northwest seems like they're really trying to set up, get vision out around Barron, because they know Indiana wants to take this Barron right now, and it is devastating for them if they do not defend it. So they are going to try to play the vision game and get as much vision as they can on the map, but Indiana is coming in, clearing everything, and fighting right back with the vision game.
We can also see the lack of magic damage coming out here from Purdue Northwest because IU is building a ton of armor. As we can see, Poppy's going towards maybe a Frozen Heart, maybe a Randuin's, and then, no, it's just Frozen Heart, actually. And then Jax is going towards that Hourglass. They're stacking a ton of armor here.
Yeah, and it's a tale as old as time, right? If they're all AD, just keep building more armor, and suddenly everybody is just completely unkillable. It's going to be really, really difficult for Purdue Northwest to start doing, like you said, there's just not enough magic damage to make these team fights really easily winnable for Purdue Northwest, and that's sort of the danger of going this hybrid LeBlanc. And we do have Purdue Northwest sort of set up, once again, getting vision control of this Baron objective, and Indiana responding in kind. Neither team really willing to commit to a Baron fight at this point.
Yeah, we're seeing, well, as we've seen this whole game, it's just been individual plays from IU that have been very, very good and a very clean team fight. As we get later and later now, if you start making these mistakes for either one of these teams, you are going to be punished heavily. We're going to see this Baron coming up, or like a fight around this Baron coming up probably very soon. We're going to see a fight for vision, or Indiana's just going to have to wait for Soul and then do something around that.
They've taken the scuttle, gotten that river vision, gotten the speed boost. They're really, this is just a battle for vision. If they're going to continue to do this until one team can either get a pick or decide that they have all the vision they need to start up that Baron, but it's just not happening right now. As they go back and clear the jungle and just get as many resources as they can to prepare for this upcoming fight that is inevitably going to happen.
Indiana is definitely sitting on a pretty significant advantage here, but I do believe they're right to play this as cautiously as they are. They just don't want to make some sort of, like you said, catastrophic mistake, because Purdue Northwest certainly behind, but are very much in a position to make a comeback if they are given the right tools and resources. And Indiana, rather wisely, is just not wanting to make that happen. But the Baron will be started. The onus is on Indiana to engage here, and they're looking for it. And then they're going to be walking into that pit, and the rest of Purdue Northwest is going to disengage entirely.
That's actually so smart there from both of these teams, but IU was just a little smarter. Purdue Northwest is starting the Baron with only 2 players, hoping to bait out Jax CP so they could take out a ton of pressure from him. And Jax was like, you guys aren't going to do this Baron with just 2 players there and everyone else separated. I'm just going to stay in side lane and keep pressuring. Very well played by both these teams. It was a mind game right there.
And PNW actually ends up on top with that as they take a mid-tower, but a fight's breaking out. Jarvan ults onto the Kaisa. Can he take her out? She's invisible.
Oh, he's completely by herself. Jax CP's coming in. Jax is going to be on the back line. He does flash onto the Ash. Storm's coming down. Stopwatch from both of them. He is still alive. Wicked is still alive. Magnus Storm comes out, but Imogen is on the back line, and that's 2 dead. LeBlanc is still not here. Are they all going to fall? This is going to be a 5-0 ace for the side of Indiana. Plexo's the only one left. He's the only hope and dream to save this game.
And this is absolute disaster for Purdue Northwest as Indiana is walking down into that mid lane. Plexo is still caught out in the jungle. Combo King is hungry for blood, specifically LeBlanc's blood. Once again, just trying to hunt down Plexo here. But for Indiana simply does not care. They're going to be ending the game entirely. And all it can take sometimes is just one misstep, one mistake. And unfortunately, Purdue made that mistake first.
Wow. Well, I mean, that was a very, very good game. And you know what? This also means IU's going to the grand final, and either Purdue Northwest or Ball State will not be returning to the grand final after meeting there last year.
I am sorry, Purdue Northwest.
Oh, we got somebody calling them out right now.
Okay.
That will be, but let's remember, Ball State still has to get past Purdue, who have been a pretty decent team so far. They could make a play here, but I just gotta say, I've said IU was a dark horse to win this, and I'm on Twitter and everything. I'm seeing these CLOL, NACE, NECC rankings. They have like Purdue Northwest at like 7, and IU not even in the top 15. And they came out today and they have shown that they are a top team in Indiana. And if Indiana has some top teams in CLOL, they're one of the top CLOL teams.
I have been shocked by Emmond every single game he's played. He is there when he needs to be every single fight. I've never seen a Poppy control fight quite like that before. The Poppy was in the back line, kind of 1v3, making sure people can't play the game, stopping the rel engage, just causing problems for everybody.
Yeah, and I think we can agree he's the MVP of that game.
For sure.
Absolutely. There was certainly so much just great plays. I know Combo King kind of had some really flashy solo kills early on, and Akali's just always fun to watch zipping around the map. But Edmund, like you said, just had... Really, it just feels like this God's eye view of every team fight, always on the back line, always causing disruptions, single-handedly turning a fight around with one well-placed Poppy ultimate. That was absolutely insane. And it's just, like you said, dark horse. I didn't know too much about IU coming into here, and before the game started, I kind of took a look at their profiles a bit. Said, these are certainly good players, but we have such well-established Titans here, and IU has really just come in and thrown down the gauntlet, and Purdue Northwest this time failed to respond.
Yeah, and I'll say, this is going to sound mean, but it's not mean, Combo King. I know you're a great player. Good players make good plays, and they get themselves ahead. Great players don't make a mistake. Amanda didn't make a mistake. That's why he's our MVP,
exactly.
And that's why we're going to talk to him on this interview. We'll send it down to you right now.
All right, thank you, casters. I'm here with IU support Hiccup. How are you feeling after that great win?
I'm feeling super excited and happy.
Nice. Now, you guys first picked Seraphine. Was there any thought behind that? Like, were you thinking about possibly flexing that mid, or was it just definitely going to be a Seraphine?
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Seraphine support after her recent changes, so I found that it was a really good pick because she's strong, and also it's taking it away from their ADC, who I know has a lot of Seraphine games.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys are now proceeding on to the grand finals, and do you have any predictions or like who you want to play against for that, or just kind of hoping for whoever?
I'm open to whoever. I will say I felt more stressed during the Ball State game, but I think either way will be fine.
Awesome. Well, we are looking forward to that. So, yeah, best of luck with the grand finals, and we're sending it to break.